It's raining bird poo. All these blackbirds came swarming in and landed up in these trees. And they were all tearing around up there, and I couldn't figure out what they were doing. It looked like they were eating bugs or something. But what they're doing is they're knocking the beech nuts out of these trees. And as soon as they all got up there, and they all just went around knocking all the beech nuts down. And now that they've knocked them down, they're all starting to come down and eat the nuts off the ground. That truck went through and scared them all away. They'll be coming back down here in a second, I think. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of blackbirds. They're literally filling these trees. From here for about, I don't know, 50, 75 yards that way, and 50 to 75 yards that way, and 50 to 75 yards that way. That's a lot of birds. These are just your standard blackbird. They have that sort of metallic green highlights on their head. Pretty neat. They're everywhere. I wanted to come out and see if that's what those blackbirds were gathering, were beech nuts, and sure enough, that's what they're getting. They're all over here. What's cool, I can come out here when the blackbirds go through and pick the nuts up right off the ground. I'll take some of these over there and show you what they look like. Alright, so here we go. This is the beech nut. And as much time as I've spent in the woods, I've never messed with these. I always find these little prickly husks, but never the nut, because I've never really looked for them. I've never bothered. But after seeing those blackbirds chowing on these, I figured I'd go out and collect some up. That way you can see all the different stages of growth or whatever. I mean, it starts out like that, hanging from the tree, and it's got the little nut inside and the little 3-piece prickly casing. This is probably green at first, I would assume, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter, because this is what you're looking for, is the ripe nut. There's the prickly casing. It's starting to open up a little bit. It's a little 3-piece deal. And the nut's inside. It's got 3 sides. And it falls out of the casing, and I usually find casings like this laying on the top of the leaves in the woods. And I never really find these nuts because I didn't look, but I found them laying in the dirt road today after the blackbirds went through and knocked them all down. And it was actually real easy to gather them up. I could have just waited for the blackbirds to knock them all down and walked out real quick and shooed the blackbirds away, and I could have gathered them all up. I probably could have gathered enough beech nuts from probably 5 or 6 trees doing that. And all I'd really have to do is walk around and pick them up off of the dirt road, which is pretty easy. They stand out like a sore thumb versus down in the leaves in the beech woods. But I'm gonna pop these open. See if I can pop one open here. Yeah, cool. So there's the shell. It pops off pretty easy. It's similar in thickness and about the same texture and stuff as an acorn shell. And there's the little nut that's inside, little beech nut. I've never tried these before. I'm gonna go ahead and give one a try here. I don't know, it's kind of small. I gotta eat another one and see. Tastes pretty good though. They taste good. Actually, they taste real good. They taste like some kind of store-bought nut. Maybe I think a pecan. I think they kind of taste like a pecan, maybe? I'm not sure. They taste like some kind of store-bought nut, and they're actually really good. It's a small little nut, but man, you can gather them up. You can gather them up big time. I mean, I just waited for those blackbirds to come through, and they get up in those trees, and they in a big flock, and they knock these beech nuts down, and then they get down and they eat them off the ground after they knock them all to the ground. And you can see the road here is just covered with them. Old ones, fresh ones just like this that are out of the casing but still inside the thin shell. I mean, that's perfect. It's all encased, so the nut is nice and clean. You just walk down the road here and gather them by the thousands if you wanted to. You could easily gather up a few hundred in no time. And they actually taste real good. And they're easy to get out of the shell, which is a bonus, you know, unlike a walnut or something. These you can almost pry them apart by hand, but I just take it and get it on an angle, because it's a 3-sided nut, and just kind of bite one of those angles, and it's really soft. I don't think that would hurt your teeth. Biting through that, it'd be like biting through a piece of thick paper or something. That nut inside is real good though. Don't need no tools, just pick them up and eat them. Don't need to process them or nothing either, which is great. Beech nut.